Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Oh, here we go. It is that time on Monday where we kind of look back on the weekend and reflect, try to sort out all the guilt, all those kind of good things.
And sort out some of the fun times.
Absolutely.
Just like the world, there's good and there's bad.
I hear you. Yeah. So Friday, let's see, we started off, we had a couple cocktails on the After the Show podcast.
We did.
And what happened with the rest of the day?
I just had beer on the podcast. I think you were drinking the cocktails.
Yeah, I had a little bit of vodka, I believe it was. Spike that up. Yeah, I keep that vodka handy.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Did I ever give you a bottle of Tito's? Did I give you a jug?
I think so. Yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay.
That's what I have in there.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I got another jug for you coming.
There was a gallon.
Yeah, that's a big old. Yeah, that's courtesy of you.
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, and I keep that here for those tough, challenging days. I need a little bit of a swig before I get to the After the Show podcast. I'm like, I need a little something. I'm like, I just don't have it in me right now.
There are days like that.
I have it in me right now. Do
You need
another
a
30 minutes.
swig.
Yeah, I need a little pop.
Just a swig.
Yeah,
Just to kind of loosen it up,
just to
baby.
kind of get me back into that mind frame where I can go back and do this again.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
you
it.
need that. So, you guys, let me see what happened on Friday night. Did you guys do anything exciting on Friday?
I don't know. I don't think I did. I think
I didn't, because we had to wake up on Saturday for Komen.
Yeah.
So I just treated it like a work night.
Yes.
I was in bed by 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do have some anxiety issues downtown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had a drink or two in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I am what I am.
Well, see, Friday, I had the Queen and I went out. We always try to find new little places, and I went to a place called Hopportunities, which is kind of cool there in Delray. What it is, you go in there, and they've got some beer, they've got wine also, and different, like even kombucha if you're doing the non-alcoholic thing, and you get like a little wristband, and you go in there, and then you just kind of hit whichever tap you want. They had probably about 30 taps or something like that,
That's
different kind of
cool.
beers and such, and yeah, it goes on ounces, and you kind of fill it up. But it was a nice little spot. That was kind of cool to find something different.
Fun.
And then we went to a place. It was really kind of odd. It was my wife's like, "Oh, we got to try this out." And it was like a one-level little place. There was no signage or anything on. I'm like, "Are you sure this is a restaurant?" So we went there at like 4, and it was closed. And I'm like, "Okay, what is this place?" And we went back after 5, and all of a sudden, the parking lot, there was about 35 cars.
Really?
I'm like, where did this come from? Yeah, it's called Third and Third. And the people worked there. They're KVJ listeners, so it was very nice. But we went in, there was a cool little bar. Like, you would never know it exists. And I think it's on 3rd Street and 3rd Avenue in Delray.
Okay.
Yeah, so found a new little spot. So
It's right by Sunday State Style.
Might be,
'Cause
yeah.
that's on 2nd Ave.
Okay. Yeah, so did that Friday night. And then on Saturday, yes, we did the Susan G. Komen walk.
That was fun. I had a really good time on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a fantastic time. It was the best time I've ever had there. We were set up right by the start-finish line, which was cool, and so that made things a lot easier. I felt like we were really
You were in
the
it.
action.
Yeah.
Before we were kind of been off to the side, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? So this was really nice to do that, and the weather was perfect too.
Yeah, and everyone does have a positive attitude and vibe out there. Mm-hmm. They really do.
Yeah, and that was the fun part of it with the beautiful weather too. Bradley's is great for that. Anytime there's like a Saturday morning event. In fact, sometimes the Queen and I will wind up at Bradley's on a Saturday morning. They've got kind of their list of regulars that are there. That when you go and be like, oh, okay, the regulars are here. But it is kind of a cool little place. If you're a person who likes a Bloody Mary, a little cocktail in the morning, which the Queen and I do, then we'll wind up there. And
It's a great spot to bring people from out of town, too. It's very unique.
yeah. So we hit that up after the race for the cure, and then some shots started flowing. And
Yeah, I checked my bill from Bradley's. I haven't had one of these days in a while where you just kind of just say, fuck it, woo!
Yeah.
Come on. It was a hefty bill. There's a lot of people drinking on that tab. Over under $400.
$400?
I think it was the final bill was like $390 something.
Oh my
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wow.
But a lot of people are having a fun time, and we don't get to do it that often.
Dang.
Denny's is throwing his hair back. Denny's is not a big drinker.
Yeah.
And I haven't been drinking nearly as much. So
Yeah.
it was fun to just kind of throw caution to the wind.
Okay.
We also knew we just had a long, fun day ahead of us.
Yeah. And then I know you guys went and did the Witch and the Bitch podcast.
Which is a lot
Your
of
place.
fun.
Yeah.
Now, is that too salacious for the newsletter?
I don't know. In fact, I was wanting to get some.
That is definitely too salacious
I was
for the newsletter.
wanting to get some audio here from it. I forgot about that.
I did too. I forgot to
Yeah.
even think about that might be hard for me to edit too. I'm like, oh, Bird, you said that.
What were because Panda was on there.
I highly recommend if you do like the After the Show podcast.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that.
Okay.
But with people who are like Panda never drinks.
Yeah.
And Panda had a few shots in him.
Okay.
So
He was loose, too.
We talk about fetishes and stuff that he's into and Virginia's not into, which is everything.
So what were the revelations that came out of that? Like, what was Panda into and Virginia's not into any of it?
I know butt stuff came up. I know.
Okay.
There was a whole segment on that with them.
Guess who brought up butt stuff?
I don't know if I did. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know what
I don't know who brought it up either, actually.
But either way, it was great fun. I highly recommend you listen. It's only 30 minutes long.
Okay.
Should have been 15.
Okay. So that was the kind of stuff that came out was...
It sounded like us at a bar drinking and just
Okay.
shooting the shit is really what it was.
Any other relationship revelations come from it?
I think we talked about, the normal stuff.
Okay.
You know.
We were talking, obviously, how we're going to the party and what kind of night we're going to have. And Denny's was on there as well. Jerry Soma was on there.
Okay. And how did the party go?
It was fun.
Okay.
I had a great time.
Had a good time?
Yeah, I really did.
And you said Virginia wasn't the drunkest person there.
Definitely not.
Okay.
She's like fifth on the list.
Jim makes the best food.
Yeah. No,
Bigfoot makes some food.
Bigfoot, no, he's like you. He knows how to throw a party. There are certain people that, if you go to the beach with Jim or Virginia, you're not going to the beach. There's going to be a fucking umbrella, sandwiches, all kinds of drinks, a radio, music.
A cooler.
Yeah. If I go to the beach, I'm like, we got to stop at 7-Eleven, get some fucking snacks. I'm not prepared at all. Some people just know how to throw a throwdown.
Jim is really good at all that preparing and party stuff.
That's his thing. Yeah, he loves
that is
to
his
entertain.
thing. Yeah.
Well, he's done some stuff for us for the beer fest.
Yeah, his tent's amazing.
It's the best tent ever.
Yeah, he is very good at that. Well, that's fun. Okay. So here we are on Monday trying to, fire it back up, baby.
I got a second wind over here.
Feeling good?
Fuck no.
Okay.
I can't wait to lay.
Soon. Okay, let me see here. We got a couple call outs here. One, Cesar Ortiz from Green Acres said, I'd like to call out Kev for his garbage but shocking Shazam Grammy edition. I watched on YT the entire show, YouTube, I guess, and I'm thinking half this bit is a waste. I just thought that by listening to the bit itself just now, and of this 13-minute bit, close to half is on mute because of copyrights. Come on, Riggy. Pick a bit that we can enjoy, not tied down by copyrights. Yeah, you know what? Honestly,
it's not your fault.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something we shouldn't have uploaded if we had to block out all the audio on it. But
Denny's told me that he thought he saved it, but it's very challenging, that segment. A lot of people liked that segment, so we were trying to give them something of a version of it. And Denny's took the time to try to Edward Scissorhands it the best way he could. It took him a while.
Yeah, well, that's that's kind of the tough thing too. Is we are slightly handcuffed that with the copyright things. It takes a lot of things off the table. We already have a lot of things that we're dancing around that we can't do that we would love to do, but because of legalities, we're not able to do that. So
I tell everybody now, you're just gonna have to love us for our personalities.
Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, some bits you may just get on the radio because of that. Because we can do it on the radio. We have licenses to play it on the radio, but not on.
Yeah, and it's weird, too. Sometimes that we would have uploaded that, and it would have been fine. It's weird how YouTube takes its shit down.
Yeah.
You almost don't even know why it does it sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. Got an email here from Greg in the 772, kind of putting a perspective on it, on ones we've lost. He said, I lost one of my best buds back in November. We were talking about if you lose a friend, you get a day off work for that. And he said, I spoke to him like every day, very similar to Jerby and Dennis. He passed away while we were out bodyboarding. Ooh. We had an epic breakfast of shrimp and grits. Then we hit the waves. Surf was pumping. He caught a wave, then had a massive heart attack.
Oh, my God.
I saw him pass away right in front of my eyes on the beach.
Oh.
I had to take off the next day from work. I could barely handle working that week.
Holy shit.
He said, yesterday, I went to call him to surf this morning because we were both off on Mondays.
Oh.
And my girlfriend and I walked into Taco Dive a few weeks back. It was the place my buddy and I used to hit all the time, our pre-drinking spot. I couldn't handle it. I busted out sobbing like a baby and had to leave. So losing a close friend can't warrant time off work.
I 110% agree with that.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Some people would be more affected by a best friend than even a family member.
Yeah.
And especially if you were there when they died.
If I lost Denny's in that way, or any of y'all, and you saw them pass, you're fucking changed for life.
Yeah. No, that's
Thanks
true.
for telling us that, although it's very depressing.
It's very heavy, but
insightful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. It's interesting seeing everybody's reaction to the Kobe Bryant story from over the weekend. I think the one thing everybody can take away from it, and it was well said by Jay Williams. He's one of the commentators on ESPN. They put him on, and he had just talked about, squashing any beefs. And he said, you got to just clear that shit right up. And he's like going, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. And they're like, you're okay.
Yeah, come on. There's sometimes an S-bomb.
Yeah, on ESPN.
It happens.
Let it go. So, but that's really kind of what it is. And I see that even in my own life, which is relatively drama-free, but there are a couple of relationships that I see on the periphery of my life that I'm like, it is just so silly that we are still holding off grudges and not talking to each other and all this kind of stuff. It really is kind of insane.
You're right. I need to work on that.
Oh, boy. You can totally tell today is reflection day for Virginia.
Oh, it is. Today's reflection day.
Zero zingers. I mean,
you're getting mellow, Virginia.
This is almost like
melancholy,
a day
Virginia.
off for me.
Melancholy, Virginia today.
I said so much stupid shit on the show. I'm like, here it comes. Oh, nothing.
And nothing.
Oh, she's over. She's going through it.
I'm in it. I'm just so tired.
You're just tired, huh?
Yeah, 2 days in a row. I gotta be careful.
Coach, I'm over here saying let's go another extra 30 motherfucking mins today.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Virginia dialed up crazy weekends.
Yeah, she did.
I did.
Yeah. Well, you still impress and amaze me because the way Virginia, like I am so old and lame that if I dialed up one of her, she can do a back-to-back. If I do one of those, I would be out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm slowing down, though.
You are?
I
Okay.
am definitely slowing down.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Yoda got old, but you still got the foreskin. You just need I can tell you need a nap.
I do.
Yeah.
Sleep really is the great equalizer. Do y'all get a little paranoid if you don't sleep? Does that ever happen?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think too, if you don't sleep or if you have sleep problems and you're not getting your sleep, you start going through a little bit of what I like to call a little bit of mania, and you think certain things are real that aren't, or things are a bigger deal in your head. And as soon as you get that nap or you sleep, it's like a drug.
Yeah.
You realize
sleep is so important.
You realize
yeah.
you're being silly.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it on yourself. That's what I do. I put all this guilt on myself and make myself feel bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why do you feel guilty? What's going on down the guilt train?
I just need to slow it down. I mean, for the love of everything holy, what am I doing?
So did you get after it yesterday?
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, okay. I didn't see it. I only saw you on Saturday. Only fifth drunkest.
That's true, yeah. So, Saturday is...
They got her out of there quick.
They did. They just whisked her away.
She was gone by 10. And that was probably an hour too late.
Whisked her right away,
We were just so happy you didn't walk into the pool.
I know. The pool was so close to where the seats were.
There were some bets going on. Who was the first that was going to be walking in the pool?
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. I was in that mix, too. I was in the... Some people said me. And I didn't even have to be drunk to be in that mix.
Yeah, I put my new philosophy to the test. We talk about sleep, and the one thing that, and I was even reading, I think it was just even last week or the week before, that after the age of like 30, you hit one layer or one level where your body doesn't handle drinking as well. And then it's a whole different level when you hit 40.
Big time.
Where the drinking takes a different effect on you. And I'm weird in a sense where I can't even tell you the last time I really had like what you would consider a true hangover, like headache or throwing up or anything like that. I just don't get those. I get deathly tired.
Yeah.
I wake up the next day and I feel like I'm like, oh, why am I so tired? Like I didn't sleep a second.
That's exactly it. It's very rare that I get the headache or the nausea.
Yeah.
Not to say that that can't happen, but it's just being so tired
Yeah.
all day long.
And
not being
yeah.
able to sleep either.
And so I put it to the test this weekend, and I'm telling you, I know you get weird looks, but if you start drinking in the morning and have a couple of drinks like on Saturday.
And let it wear off.
Yes, and then have a few more. I think I had a total of like 4 drinks on Saturday, but it was stretched out over the day. And then I knew at the end of the day, give yourself a good, at bare minimum 1 hour, maybe 2 to 3 before you actually go to bed to let the alcohol burn out of your system. And then I slept like a champ Saturday night. I woke up with boundless energy yesterday, and I drank on the train down and a little bit in the afternoon. And
You look great.
I feel great today.
glowing.
And I'm like, this is it. Now discipline, I'll have those days where I'm sure I'm going to blow it again. But I'm like, if I could drink this way, this is how you drink after the age of 40. That's what you do.
Yeah, I gotta follow your lead.
How many times do we do this?
We always do this.
I gotta make some changes.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen is a week or two's gonna go by.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another event where you want to get fucking turned.
Because anxiety will build up.
Well, I think I was telling Virginia. I think Virginia's got some anxiety issues. She doesn't want to either admit or she doesn't even recognize.
Maybe.
I think
yeah.
she's got some social anxiety, and you might not know that. I'm not saying you're
Interesting.
I think you like being around people, but I think it sometimes causes some anxiety, especially if you don't know the people.
Yes, it does. And I think that this job makes you have to be an extrovert. But I don't know if I'm completely 100% extrovert.
I don't think anybody is. I was talking to somebody who's kind of interesting. They were saying that nobody is really 100% introvert or extrovert typically. And they say there are a lot of people that can wear a little bit of both. In fact, the person was telling me, because it was at something where it was like, oh, I had to be animated. I had just gotten off stage doing, like a panel and things like that. And he's like, he looked at me and he's like going like, you're a massive introvert. I'm like, really? What makes you say that? He's like, you just have all the, like, you're a person that fakes it. But
Yep.
you're really like a loner, quiet. And I'm like, yes, totally.
I feel like that a lot of times, like I am faking it.
Well,
and that's a weird headspace.
In a sense, you are when you go out in public. If you're doing an event, you're in a sense performing. You're going out there. You can't be in a fucking sour mood and all down and out of cocktails and karaoke. That's kind of not what you get paid there to do. So you got to be, you do. If you're not, let's say that day you had a shitty day, you went panic into a fight, or someone passed away, or someone's sick that you love, you now have to push that aside and perform in a sense. And that's not easy to do all the time.
Damn.
It is.
Bird is laying me down on the counseling couch.
He's sorting you out.
How much I owe you what's your copay?
Honestly, fucking sandwich.
Can you write scripts?
No, we need to get you off the scripts.
And the other thing that really sucks is as you get older and you're drinking, like when you're in your 20s, you don't feel like there's as much of a stigma. When you're over, 30 or 40, it's like a sliding scale of if you tear it up like you did. If you're 22 and you do it, it's like, hey, you're 22. When you're 42 and you do it, then it's like going, eh. And I think you definitely hit yourself a lot harder with more guilt.
Oh, for sure, because you're like, Bird, it was just an appearance at the Petco.
Yeah. At 22, I would wake up hungover, high-fiving people like going, man, you drank so much last night. I'm like, I know, man, yeah. At 42, no one's high-fiving you for how much you drank the night before.
No, in fact, they are probably in the corner crying because they think, I'm with this person.
Yes. So you never know. Yeah. All right, let me see. Another
On
email
that happy
here.
note.
Somebody said, ever since somebody pointed out Virginia using the word evolved and thought it was racial, y'all use it about 5 times a show. I've noticed this in the past with another word, but now I can't recall what it is. I'm curious if you make yourself a note to use particular words in different contexts to show the audience that you did not mean to use it in the original context.
No, I've always said the term evolve.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I've always used that term in my vocabulary.
I love the word.
Yeah, but sometimes people are evolved in their thinking.
Yeah.
They grow. That's what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not racial.
No, the way you were talking had nothing to do with race at all.
And Holly also said there was another term that I'd heard. It was freaky monkey when it was about Tiger Woods. You don't have to answer this on the air, but I was just curious because people are so easily offended. I didn't know if it was a way to do a certain type of damage control to prove that a term can be used many different ways. Anyway, love listening to you guys. Have a great one. Yeah, I don't remember particularly what that one was about.
I've always said that term as well.
I think I said that. Mm-hmm. And it's about his sexual...
Yeah.
I mean, he was dating 9 girls outside of his wife.
But you've called
at the same time.
You've called me a freaky little monkey.
Yeah.
That's just I've grown up with that term. That was always to mean someone likes to get a little freaky in the bed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think there's always probably going to be little things that, you can, and especially when you're not really thinking about it.
No.
Of course.
That you can come out with.
I think considering the source and realizing the source of things is a big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I hope that, that is a term because that was an awful term that was thrown out. I think definitely is, just even going back and now for me looking at some of the documentaries and things that they have, the civil rights movement and some of the things that happened then, it's just unspeakable things that you just can't even imagine that people would say those kind of terms. And hopefully now it's like you don't even make those kind of associations because it is so horrible that, you can start using your freaky little monkeys and not anybody think there would be anything racial.
Well, I mean, if it's not about that and that's what you're talking about, someone having sex in a bed, you should be able to... Mm-hmm. You should not get in trouble for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he likes to bone.
And that should not be a controversial statement because one thing means one thing and one thing means the other.
And it has nothing to do with race.
No.
He just likes to get his freak on.
Yeah, I think, we always have to consider intent. What is somebody's intent?
Well, I think that's how you make decisions in life.
Should be. That's how it should be. If they didn't intend it that way, then we shouldn't take it that way. That wasn't the intent of the comment. We got an email here from Mia in Fort Myers said, I joined next door because of Kevin, hoping to get a load of juicy drama in my neighborhood. But since I now live in Fort Myers, most of the posts are just old people complaining about their Comcast. I did get a laugh over a post, though. I thought you guys might appreciate it, too. I'm not sure if I got that in front of me. But I will tell you that I did see one today that I got, and I was thinking about that when... she was talking about how hers is pretty boring. And I saw one today that popped up on my next door today. And then it was featured in the news. I saw that they had retweeted it. Palm Beach County and even Broward County sheriffs had retweeted this. It said, residents beware on January 23rd, 2020, which was last week at 6:45 p.m. They have a photo. This imposter knocked on the door of a residence in Fairway Isle and advised the homeowner he was there for an appointment to check his water. The homeowner questioned the imposter, advised he did not have an appointment, and requested to see his ID. The imposter showed the victim what he believed to be a fake ID with a fake name. The imposter then advised that he was at the wrong house and then went scurrying off to the neighbor's residence, who also stated he did not have an appointment. So they're like, there's this suspect dude who popped into a 2014 to 2017 white Ford Explorer type SUV. He's wearing a navy blue traffic style vest with an unknown name badge on the left chest. But this guy's going door to door and they got his photo out there.
Scary.
Yes. And somebody said, yeah, it was on the news this morning. So, yeah, the stuff happening in my neighborhood is making the news. We got all kinds of shenanigans happening.
What happened now?
On my next door.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Next door is great. If you're not on it, you need to get on it.
Some people though they don't live in an area like me and Kevin when there's a lot of drama. They're very disappointed. They go, I'm looking for all the crazy shit. I can't
we have
find
so
it.
much drama. Yeah.
Did y'all see my video on Instagram of the squirrels banging on my fence?
No.
Oh my God!
You made a squirrel porn?
They're getting
He did.
so lawless now that they are just sticking it right there on the fence, doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Scandalous.
Yeah, some people are commenting, and either you've got like Gen Z's like, yeah, mine is lame. Remy said theirs is lame, but then somebody else is like, Megan said her mine is fascinating. Jump on it. So yeah, I guess it just depends upon what you got going on in your neighborhood. Not all of them are very exciting, so I'll throw that out. But you find out pretty quickly if you got an exciting neighborhood or not.
Yeah, you do.
Doug and Rachel had a question. What up, KVJ? Denny Suits and the gang. My wife and I had a question about Suits. So obviously he got his name from wearing suits all the time. We saw him in the KVJ Insta stories at the Susan G. Komen race videos in a suit, and we were just curious, does he wear suits all the time still because he actually enjoys wearing suits or because it's his nickname now and he kind of has to? Thanks for always making us laugh. Yeah, he wore one to his interview, and then somebody mentioned to him like, yeah, hey, it just kind of like we're so amazed that he wore a suit to a radio intern interview that, yeah, we started calling him Suits, and so he's kind of stuck wearing them. He doesn't always, but yeah, I'd say 95% of the time he wears a suit.
He looks weird. I went to his house because we made a video, a cooking video, and Suits had on a T-shirt and shorts, and he was barefoot. I'm like, this is fucking weird. I don't like it.
It is weird when someone changes up their look a little bit. You're right. When he had shorts on, I go, "What? You have legs?
You have feet?
You have flesh."
Wow.
It's when I wear tennis shoes, people get weirded out. I started wearing tennis shoes this year because I was wearing sandals all the time. It's like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah. I got another email here. It says, your show is played a second time in the afternoon, and do you get paid twice for that? Is that part of the deal?
No.
No, they do a replay at 6 p.m. It's, kind of there for if you miss anything or just for your listening enjoyment, and also helps promote the show. But, yeah, there's no added income for that one. Do you have any ownership of your show materials? Yeah, we do work on that. This is kind of contract stuff that we do. Could you sell your audio to an out-of-market radio station? We could. That'd be something that we could arrange. Or does the station own everything once you go live from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.? Yeah, no, we're fortunate. We do have some ownership of the content that we create. That's like ours to do with what we want. Distribution, that's the kind of stuff that you work out in contracts. And, yeah, who knows? I mean, it's something that, for probably the last 10 years, we haven't really thought about any kind of like syndication stuff, because sometimes when you syndicate, you have to really scrub a lot of the locality out of your show, and we love being very South Florida and very local and throwing out references like Third and Third and, going to opportunities and stuff like that, where if you're syndicated into another city like a Chicago, people are like, what are they? I don't even know what they're talking about.
And we tried. We did a little syndication stuff. We had a Key West station. We had a Sarasota station. It's a lot of work because you have to go to the markets and you have to be active, and it's not a lot of money.
No.
So it's a lot of work and not a lot of money. It kind of goes against like how we should all be setting up our lives.
Yeah.
You want to work smarter, make more, and not have as much energy depleted.
Yeah.
We were doing it the opposite.
And so you decide if you want to be like a big local or regional show, or you want to do the syndicated thing. And if you do, you really need to get about 10 stations on board before you start making much money off of it. I mean, yeah, some of the stations, they'll pay you like $5,000 a year just to run your show.
That's it.
I think that's what the deal we had.
Yeah.
I think we had, none of us made any money.
Yeah, no, you're not going to change your life.
In fact, you could argue that I lost money because I think I ended up driving to.
We took a helicopter.
Yeah, that wasn't cheap.
No, that wasn't cheap at all.
Yeah.
So I'm in the red on that one.
Yeah, me too. Sarasota was very expensive for me.
That's where we were syndicated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot. Jenny in Marietta, Georgia. She has a email here. She said, you definitely make me smile and laugh more than you know. Sometimes on days when I truly need a laugh, I just wanted to let you know how much positivity you put into the world. Thank you for everything y'all do and share with the KVJ Nation. It's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You can send us emails always, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. we're going to go take a nap and then try to do it again tomorrow.
Oh, we'll be back, baby.
Yeah, we will definitely be back. And better rested. So you guys enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.